Later today, the woman at the center of a case that made national headlines is set to have a parole hearing.
Susan Smith drowned her two children by driving her car into a lake in South Carolina back in 1994. She lied about it for 9 days before finally confessing. She was sentenced to life with the possibility of parole, but will that actually happen? Queen City News anchor Derek Dellinger is live in Columbia this morning. Derek, where that hearing's happening this morning, are we expecting to actually see Susan Smith there?
Well, she will not be here in person. We're told that she's going to be by video link. She is currently serving her sentence in another part of the state. Now, despite the fact that she will be here by video link and not necessarily in person, we do know a number of other people will be here in person, including her ex-husband, David Smith, father of Michael and Alex Smith, the two kids that were killed back in 1994, as well as the prosecutor over the case, Tommy Pope. They are expected to give some sort of statements, and they are expected to be in attendance, among others, just a little bit later on today. Now, the case involving Susan Smith and the deaths of her sons Michael and Alex made national and international headlines back in 1994, and it's still considered to this day to be really one of the major crime stories of the 90s. Smith initially claimed a black man carjacked and took her kids, which led to a massive search for 9 days. She ultimately confessed after various parts of the case started to just not add up. And she claimed during her trial that she'd been planning to also kill herself by driving into a lake in Union County, South Carolina, but got out of the car and while her children were still inside at the last minute. Her sons did drown in that incident. Now, the prosecutors say she did it in an effort to get back together with an old flame. She was sentenced to life with the possibility of parole, which brings us to where we are now. Last month, we should add, it marked 30 years since that incident happened, where she drove the car into the lake with Michael and Alex still inside. And the confession actually happened just a little bit earlier this month, 30 years ago. Jason and Savannah.
So, Derek, if she is, I don't know it's a big if she is granted parole, what does that actually look like? I think a lot of people just automatically assume, okay, she gets out. That's not really how it happens. Is that right?
No, there is a process. In fact, the pre-release process, at least as far as the probation or the parole is concerned, if she does meet certain conditions, like as far as work is concerned, as far as residence is concerned, she may be able to qualify. But whatever parole she does get will have to be supervised. We should mention, though, that the chances of that are quite slim, but they are not zero, which is part of the reason why we're out here this morning and when we are planning on being here for the remainder as far as whenever this hearing is going to be happening just a little later on today.
Derek, one more question before we let you go. We know a lot of people could be wondering about her sentence. Why was she given the possibility of parole in the first place?
Well, it has to do with the sentencing guidelines that she was under back when this all happened back in 1994 and 1995. The trial didn't happen until 1995, by the way, but in 1994, when she was charged during all this, when you were charged with something like this, you were eligible for life with a possibility of parole. That was part of the sentencing guidelines. But after this incident, the laws changed to take out any possibility of parole in an incident like this. If someone was charged with a similar crime, they would not have that opportunity anymore.